Sambit Patra, Mehboob Beg of the PDP on one side, Atul Kumar Anjan, Ghanshyam Tiwari of the Communist Party of India and the JDU, C Singh, former Secretary Ministry of External Affairs, and Sushil Pandit is an activist who has strong views on Pakistan and how Pakistan should be engaged with. I want to start with C Singh and Sushil Pandit just to get a sense of how people are looking at it. Now there's no doubt about it. Sambit, you must accept, there is no doubt about it that it has sent a confusing signal on what the Pakistan policy of the government really is. There is one group, which is the cottage industry of the pro-Pakistan groups, come what may, despite 26/11, despite bomb blasts, despite provocation with Hurriyat, constantly engaged with Pakistan. You know, that kind of group will always be happy with any engagement with Pakistan. But it has sent out confusing signals, and on those I want to open with C Singh first. C, how do you look at this reach out? It's unprecedented, it's a great photo op, but I don't know how much it will yield on the ground. How do you read it, C?
Arnab, I think you summed it up. You don't need an expert. It is an interesting event, a good diplomatic gesture. It's caused surprise or even consternation, because from last year, from the time Mr. Modi has taken over, the Pakistan policy has gone through various twists and turns. If there was an organic growth of that policy and a continuous sort of movement with interruptions, but with explanation to the public why those interruptions were there, then the surprise would not be there. But nevertheless, post-Bihar election, I think the government seems to have gone into overdrive with a Pakistan policy, which started with the Paris meeting of the two prime ministers, NSA's External Affairs Minister. Then the foreign secretaries were supposed to meet and take the dialogue forward. The fact that the two prime ministers have met obviously is a sign that this was done at a short notice. Otherwise, there was no purpose really the prime ministers meeting at this stage until the foreign secretaries had sorted out the dialogue process. But now that it has been done, I think it seems to have sent, from what we are getting from our Pakistani guests,
someone tell me what we hope to gain by this.
Very positive message there.
No, what do we hope to gain by this? For example, let's get Sambit on this. Sambit, what do we hope to gain by this? Because the last time that Modi made a grand gesture of meeting Nawaz Sharif in Ufa in July this year, it yielded nothing, with the Pakistani Prime Minister discussing ways to expedite the 26/11 trial when he met Modi. But immediately on going back, there was a typical Pakistani 180-degree flip-flop a day later when the Pakistan government refused to file a fresh petition to obtain Lakhvi's voice samples. So, these grand gestures have yielded nothing. What is the great hope this time? Sambit.
Now, I would not preempt as to what the result to this grand gesture would be. I would rather wait, but I would say that the glass is half full rather than saying that the glass is half empty. Because optimism is the way ahead in diplomacy. And today, Mr. Narendra Modi has shown the kind of optimism,
not with Pakistan,
kind of,
Sambit.
Spontaneous
not
diplomacy,
with Pakistan,
which is exemplary.
No, not with Pakistan.
No, as far as Pakistan
your argument can't be that I'm optimistic. Atul Anjan.
No, let me.
Atul Anjan is responding to you. Atul Anjan to Sambit Patra.
No, let me complete just few more sentences and then we can have
Mr. Arnab.
As far as this particular meeting of Mr. Modi is concerned, I would say it was an exemplary attempt of the Prime Minister to infuse informality into relation of India and Pakistan. As Mr. K.C. Tyagi was rightly speaking, from Paris to Bangkok and from Bangkok to Islamabad, and then today the stopover in Lahore has surely taken a trajectory of informality today.
But why the stopover?
That, well, yes,
what has changed?
We are looking forward.
Why the stopover, Sambit? What has changed? What has changed?
Arnab, the change will not come overnight.
In the last 86 days,
that the change will not overnight.
No, what has changed?
Will not come overnight.
I'm sorry, Sambit, let me ask the BJP a very fundamental question. I will ask this question and BJP can respond. Ghanshyam Tiwari. And now Ghanshyam Tiwari, Atul Kumar Anjan, no, Sambit, it's not a one-way debate, it has to be two ways. And my question to the BJP is this: in the last 86 days, Narendra Modi has gone from waving to Nawaz Sharif in New York as they attended the UNGA session to flying to Lahore to meet the Pakistani Prime Minister on his birthday. If people ask you today what has changed, has Pakistan progressed an inch on bringing the perpetrators of 26/11 in the last 26 days? Has Pakistan done anything to get Hafiz Saeed behind bars in the last 86 days? Has Pakistan done anything to curb terrorist infiltration into Pakistan in the last 86 days, or to control ceasefire violations along our border in the last 86 days? What has changed? Why this dramatic change of approach by the top office of this country? Atul Anjan on the other side, and then Ghanshyam Tiwari. Atul Anjan.
I want to...
Atul Anjan, here's the other side.
Are you
Mr. Arnab,
Yeah.
just listen. Mr. Arnab, you have put the many questions, and many questions which you have put are being discussed in the minds of the people of this country. But at the very outset, I want to say, the party which I belong, Communist Party of India, is always of this opinion that we must have a dialogue with our neighbors, and especially with the Pakistan. I am very happy today, after listening the speech of Mr. Rajnath Singh was saying, you cannot change your neighbor, you cannot change your neighbor, you can change your friends, but the neighbor is the Pakistan. This we used to say, but for the last 10 years, and especially last 5 years, it is the BJP and RSS, those who are creating jingoism in this country. And all of a sudden, now a new type of diplomacy is being started, where the foreign minister doesn't know what is happening.
It was Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee whose birthday it is today. You used to say this.
You see, Mr. Atul Kumar Anjan, tell me Atal Bihari. I don't want to give. I don't want to mention today. I don't want to mention today Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
It was not the Communist Party of India who said this. Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee said this.
I don't want to. Listen. Listen, I don't want to make any right now negative comment on Atal Bihari Vajpayee, because today his birthday is there. I do not want, but I just want to. Your jingoism about Hemaraj and his head. What you have done?
Mr.
You created a hysteria. You are still your bandwagon.
You are shouting as if everything good in this world has been done by you only.
What good, yeah? Your record is that you are the party of jingoism.
What bandwagon?
And you are the people who they become the stumbling block in the relation between Pakistan
every
and
day
India.
Every day evening I can hear Mr. Atul Anjan shouting on television debates, and you are accusing me of jingoism.
I go to the people, you are sitting, you are only deputed for this one. You are only deputed for this one.
Arnab,
I go for the surgery of the people. You have only
reduced to zero seats. Going to the people. What is the use going to people if you are reduced to zero seats? Mr. Atul Kumar Anjan,
I think we are digressing.
You are not.
I think we are digressing and getting personal. Viewers will not appreciate that. My point is tonight, as I welcome into the debate Ghanshyam Tiwari, Mehboob Beg, as well as Sushil Pandit. You see, there has been a surprise on Nawaz Sharif's birthday, so to speak. So it really begs the question. 1 minute, gentlemen. I'm asking 3 other panelists to come into the debate, please. The birthday surprise, so to speak, really begs the question. Atul Anjan, what exactly is the government's Pakistan policy? What is exactly the government's Pakistan policy? In the last 24 days, the government that took a strong stand against Pakistani intervention in Indian affairs and stuck to its stance on no talks with terror has officially suddenly interacted with Pakistan diplomatically 4 times. 30th November. No, आप ये पाकिस्तान पॉलिसी है क्या? You 4 times, November 30th, December 6th, December 8th and December 25th, there have been 4 sudden engagements with Pakistan. What is our policy? What has changed? What are we expecting through these 24 days?
I think Arnab, I would like to come in. I'd like to come in with a very simple thought. I think it is great. I think it is great that on a day of... I think it is great that on a day...
Ghanshyam Tiwari and then the others, please.
Yes. Yeah. I think it is great that on a day of festival, people are presently surprised with a positivity or hope of peace. But the question is this a process that could be held accountable? This BJP, it's not just the government, it's the party itself. When they make statements, top leaders of BJP, their political workers, they speak of Pakistan in one way in the country, and when the Prime Minister is abroad, he speaks of Pakistan or engages with Pakistan in another way. How can a party and the government that the party is running can be on 2 different planes on the same issue? This process has to be made accountable. Birthday is an event. Diplomacy is not an event. It is a full-fledged engagement. What happens?
What is your position? But I'm very confused with your criticism today. No, I'm very confused. Ghanshyam Tiwari, I'm very confused with your criticism of this meeting today. I am confused as to where exactly Nitish Kumar's party stands.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just as confused.
Consider your oscillating
I'm not criticizing. I'm just as confused.
Consider your oscillating positions. Today you denounced this meeting. KC Tyagi says, I am stunned and shocked at this moment. I can think of the beheaded Hemraj. Lance Nayak Hemraj was beheaded by Pakistani soldiers on January last year in the Poonch sector of Jammu and Kashmir. But in March 2015, Ghanshyam Tiwari, Sharad Yadav, your party chief, welcomed talks with Pakistan in the context of the resumption of the Foreign Secretary level talks. In August 2015, Sharad Yadav welcomed talks with Pakistan. On November 29th, KC Tyagi welcomed talks with Pakistan after Nawaz Sharif agreed for dialogue without preconditions. I mean, I can ask Sambit Patra what the BJP stand on talks with Pakistan is. But do you or does Atul Kumar Anjan have any idea or consistency on your criticism of this government?
No,
inconsistency repeated often is not consistency.
We have been.
No, you've not. You have been entirely
on the agenda of engaging with Pakistan. Look at even the issue that Mr. KC Tyagi raised. It's not right for me to comment on somebody, but it is such issues that BJP has gone on the street and painted a narrative of Pakistan. That is what I'm saying. The political leaders and workers of BJP react to Pakistan in one way and create a political propaganda around it, and then they comes their government and they act in a surprising manner, and that is what confuses everybody. The diplomacy has to be a continuous engagement.
I have a question.
I think you have not answered my question. How can one party have two positions in 3 weeks? One second. My question is simple. KC, you know what? Ghanshyam Tiwari, my question to you is this. How can one party have two positions in 3 weeks? Please tell me. If you have decided you'll be perennially critical, then you'll have to be consistent in your criticism. You're not even consistent in your criticism. Ghanshyam Tiwari, Sambit, you're free to come into the debate at any point.
Sure. With respect to Pakistan, since when Mr. Nitish Kumar visited Pakistan, you must look at the reactions that BJP was presenting, and you should also look at the propaganda with which they have presented Nitish Kumar's visit in various Bihar elections and other elections. That is one. My whole point is our approach towards foreign policy with respect to Pakistan has been consistent. There has to be dialogue, but it is BJP that has oscillated between
Ghanshyam Tiwari, there's a counter, please.
Criticism of other leaders at another point, and then showing sudden gestures. I would say that any gesture that brings positivity in relationship is great, but it should end toward, it should be accountable. Is this government accountable that this gesture would lead to a certain direction of peace between the countries?
Yeah, please. Just a second, Mr. Ghanshyam. Cool down. Don't hyperventilate, cool down, and don't be confused in your criticisms. I have a question for you. You rightly brought in a very important point over here. Approximately 3 years from today, Mr. Nitish Kumar had visited Pakistan. He had gone to the highest office. He had visited all the opposition members in Pakistan as well, and he wanted peace with Pakistan. You don't share. You, in the sense, Bihar does not share a border with Pakistan. Bihar has no economic ties with Pakistan. But yet, the Chief Minister, the then Chief Minister of Bihar, felt that they should go out and reach Pakistan as far as peace is concerned. Today, when the government of India, when the Prime Minister is reaching out, it's a goodwill gesture. Why should you be objecting to it? The Chief Minister of Bihar.
I'm not objecting. That's the whole point. I'm just saying your party, your leaders have to be consistent. You cannot have your own union ministers tell again and again that those who do not agree. Sambit, today if your own union minister is watching this debate and he will say that Sambit should go to Pakistan because he's advocating peace with Pakistan. Because this is the kind of statement that your present union ministers have made, and after they made that statement, they were made the union minister by the same Prime Minister.
No, problem is, I think everyone's inconsistent. The BJP is inconsistent. The JDU is inconsistent.
What does all these have to do
the Congress is inconsistent. And the communists are also inconsistent. Yes, Atul Kumar Anjan, you too are inconsistent. All political parties have unfortunately become inconsistent vis-a-vis the position on Pakistan.
They are inconsistent.
Sir, don't take it personally.
And especially BJP and RSS.
I know the BJP is inconsistent, and I'll tell you why they are inconsistent. My question is, Sushil Pandit and Mehboob Beg.
Atul Kumar Anjan is only consistent with China.
All sorts of venom against the Pakistan.
Atul Kumar Anjan is only consistent with China. He is inconsistent otherwise.
Yes, I am consistent.
Okay,
and
now
your Prime Minister is keeping him on the jhula, moving with jhula, and they slap you. Yes, We have nothing to do. You were moving
you
with the
are on
Chinese
Jhula.
president.
No,
and therefore
you are on Jhula. Please don't bring
Arunachal Pradesh.
Please don't
A
reduce
different
this
dumb
debate
Prime
into
Minister could not do
triviality. Don't
anything.
reduce this debate into triviality.
No, no, you are reducing the debate.
Okay.
You don't know.
Okay, one second.
Your
24 days back. 24 days back. 24 days back, Sushil Pandit and Mehboob Beg. 24 days back, the government took a strong stand against Pakistani intervention in India's internal affairs. Through these 24 days,
of the people.
through these 24 days, Sushil Pandit, Mehboob Beg, through these 24 days, the Pakistani High Commissioner met the Hurriyat. If the BJP and the government called off the talks on the basis of the collusion between Islamabad and the Hurriyat in August last year, Atul Anjan, if the government called off the talks on the basis of the collusion between Islamabad and the Hurriyat in August last year, my question is, Mehboob Beg, how can you gloss over the same collusion 16 months later? Through these 24 days, the government of India, Sushil Pandit, has rejected the proposition of cricket diplomacy with Pakistan.
Yes.
We don't agree to cricket diplomacy with Pakistan, but we find it acceptable for a personal meeting with the Prime Minister of Pakistan. This is inconsistency. Sushil Pandit. Sushil Pandit.
Yes.
Sushil Pandit. Sushil Pandit.
I think in the middle of this euphoria, in the middle of this euphoria,
Sushil Pandit, please, let him come in.
Please.
Sushil Pandit, Atul
Yes.
Anjan, after Sushil Pandit, please.
Thank you. In the middle of this euphoria, we must see the big picture, Mr. Beg.
Sushil Pandit,
I beg a
Mehboob Beg.
couple of minutes from you. In the last 18 months, the watershed was 23rd of March. Between 18th of August last year and 23rd of March, Indo-Pakistan relationship was in deep freeze. There was not even an attempt to make contact. On 23rd of March, just 7 days before the agenda for alliance was declared and a Jammu Kashmir government coalition was sworn in, a week before, Prime Minister himself calls up the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, to take an initiative in a relationship which was in deep freeze for the preceding 9 months. From that 23rd of March call from Pakistan, from our Prime Minister to the Pakistani Prime Minister, what we have seen is India is doing Surya Namaskars in all directions, but Pakistan hasn't budged an inch on any of the issues that India expected of them. Not even a single issue. In these 9 months, we have seen India engage Pakistan, actually overruling its own red lines, which had created the impasse of 9 months between 18th of August and 23rd of March. It is this that worries us. It was Kashmir coalition, it was agenda for alliance that dictated that India must re-engage with Pakistan. It was as if tail was wagging the dog. And that is when India went into an overdrive, and what we see is all kinds of engagement, all kinds of wriggling from one position to the other, and that creates a bit of a worry. I have no doubts about...
Sushil Pandit, are you blaming... Sushil Pandit, you began by saying that all this happened after the formation of the PDP-BJP government. Are you blaming the formation of the coalition government with the PDP for the change of position of the government of India? Are you saying the softness of approach is because of the tie-up with Mufti Muhammad Saeed? Are you saying so?
Sir, it is written in the agenda for alliance in writing. It is the precondition for getting into a government. It is because of that that India began to re-engage with Pakistan.
Mehboob Beg.
It is on record.
Would you like to respond to Sushil Pandit, who draws that link?
Yeah, please.
Absolutely.
We can't, Arnab, we can't remain stuck in past. We have to move forward. As my Chief Minister said, and I am only quoting you, it's an evolutionary process. It will take time to yield results, but we have to have good relationship with Pakistan and all neighboring countries. It will give an impetus to the concept of SARC. That's what our Chief Minister said. It will give stability to the region. We can't remain stuck. And we, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and we, the people in Jammu and Kashmir, suffer if there is hostility between the two countries. So it's very important that we should have friendly relationship, and Prime Minister has gone in the right direction.
You can respond.
And it is not...
May I ask you, Mr. Beg, while I appreciate that we cannot remain stuck on one position, but should Pakistan be allowed to remain stuck and not deliver on anything, and India must do everything? India must yield on every issue, even on embarrassing the government on meeting Hurriyat.
Rightly said.
Meeting Hurriyat, even after Bangkok engagement.
I agree with Sushil Pandit, and I'm placing it on record. I want to know, on behalf of all the viewers and the people watching the Newshour tonight, I want to know from Mehboob Beg and Sushil Sambit Patra a few fundamental issues. Tell us, Sambit Patra and Mehboob Beg, since now you are the great, evangelists of the peace process with Pakistan, I wouldn't even be surprised tomorrow if the peace lobbies move into this kind of a situation. Does Pakistan sponsor terror not matter anymore? Does the 26/11 trial in Pakistan not matter anymore?
Just a minute.
7 years on, no signs of bringing justice to the families
Arnab, give me
of
some time.
164 people killed on 26 November 2008. No, do these things, do the ceasefire violations not matter anymore? Do the ceasefire violations not matter anymore right now? No, please, no, I want Sambit to respond. I want Sambit to
what happens to Congress.
It does matter.
They are in opposition.
No, I want to answer point by point only if others can hold their horses and be quiet for a while. Please, yes. By the way, Sushil Pandit, whom we all hold with highest respect, has raised some questions as well. Let me begin with Sushil's questions. Number one, he says that, well, the day PDP and... please, Arnab. The day PDP and Bharatiya Janata Party entered into a coalition, that was the day when Bharatiya Janata Party thought of engaging with Pakistan. I would disagree and say we thought of positive engagement with Pakistan the day we came into power, because Narendra Modi invited Pakistani counterpart Nawaz Sharif the very first day he was to be sworn in as the Prime Minister. So we had a very consistent stand that peace should be the keynote of moving forward, and we are still maintaining on that. As far as the red lines are concerned,
sir, from
please
18th of August till 23rd of March,
the country be
nothing
assured
happened.
That the red lines are still on. The red lines will never be erased.
What are those red lines worth?
Yes,
you meet in Bangkok and Hurriyat comes back to the High Commission of Pakistan.
There would never be a Hurriyat no, not at all. Sir, I was listening.
Hurriyat visited Pakistan High Commission after your Bangkok meeting.
I assure you.
They keep cocking a smoke at you. They keep embarrassing you.
Our stand right from the very beginning was, if a delegation of Pakistan comes to negotiate with India, you cannot meet the Hurriyat before the negotiation. We have always maintained that meeting Hurriyat is not the problem, but you cannot derive from the Hurriyat.
No, you said no. I'm sorry, Sambit. Sambit, I'm sorry.
Therefore, to save yourself the embarrassment, you run away to Bangkok.
On the day the talks happened. No, Sambit, 1 minute. On the day the talks happened at the NSA level, we had asked the BJP representatives what is going to happen if after the NSA level talks, these Pakistanis go and invite the Hurriyat once again into the High Commission.
Absolutely.
At that point of time, the BJP said now it's not going to happen. 6 days later, Basit did exactly that. The Hurriyat was called in, given red carpet welcome. They betrayed you again. Despite that, these talks are going on. And I am asking you another question which you're dodging tonight. Please tell people, because you came to power on that issue. You came to power on taking on Pakistan. Taking on Pakistan was one of the big campaign issues for the BJP. Does Pakistan sponsor terror not matter anymore? Does 26/11 not matter anymore? Do the ceasefire violations not matter anymore? 20 civilians have been killed with 41 security personnel in the year 2015.
Yes.
Does this not matter anymore?
All these matters to the
Therefore, we have to talk.
These are extremely important, and we move ahead with all
Talk about
these
what?
we move ahead with all this written in front of us. These matters, and that's the reason as to why.
Absolutely.
The debate is open
That's
right
the
now.
reason as
The
to why.
debate is open.
The UFA declaration.
The debate is open. KC Singh, you buy that?
The
KC Singh, you buy that, KC?
UFA statement had
What
the
UFA?
mention of
You are never
terrorism, talks
committed
on
to UFA.
terror.
You are never
And
committed
in fact,
to
Pakistan had to.
And you are
had
making
to
all
bold
sorts
Sir,
of that
Sambit,
declaration, and you would agree
Sambit, with
with
all
me
due
that
respect,
the Islamabad
you went
Indo-Pak
out on
statement
the
has
street,
registered
worker to worker,
as
leader to leader,
terrorism from
saying
other
that
topics.
government of
Now,
India in
terrorism
UPA 2
occupies
regime
the
had to
position
be
of
held
prime
accountable for
importance.
Pakistan's actions against India. And when you came to power in 2 years, you have not delivered anything. You have just delivered an inconsistent set of activities that involves warm gestures, that raises hopes, but really is not accountable to the promise.
I'll just remind you of one sentence. बम बंदूक गोली के धमाकों में बात होगी है क्या? बम बंदूक गोली के धमाकों में बात होगी है क्या?
In the aftermath of 2011, one thing became very clear, Sir Sushil Pandit and Sambit Patra and Ghanshyam Tiwari. In the aftermath of 26/11, one thing became abundantly clear, Sambit, that Pakistan only understands the language of coercive diplomacy.
How can you support them?
Absolutely. Arnab, today Pakistan is over the moon.
Why you are not
Today Pakistan is celebrating.
Why you are not mentioning
Pakistan is celebrating because we have given a huge concession.
No, not at all. Rather,
entire Pakistan polity is happy.
To reciprocate. By this gesture of Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister
After 16 years, an Indian Prime Minister has revisited Pakistan. Pakistani polity is over the moon. And what is this? What is this concession for?
Mr. Atul Kumar Anjan, do you know
You have visited an unrepentant Pakistan and rewarded them for nothing.
Internationally?
And we must take it forward. There is nothing like celebrating or mourning.
Sambit,
rewarded
beyond the politics of it, beyond the politics of it, Sambit,
why is Mr. Narendra
beyond the
Modi
politics of this, I think I'm on more issues. And if you can just for a minute not drown out the important issues in the politics of it, please. May I please request you gentlemen to hear me for a minute, and you will understand where I'm coming from, and I want to get KC Singh's view on it. And Sambit Patra, let's not get political, please. And I just need to explain one fundamental issue to you tonight. You see, what am I saying, KC? I am constantly looking for whether things add up in politics or in foreign policy. So KC, when this government called off the talks in August last year because Pakistan interfered in India's internal affairs, I was among those cases. Unlike some members, of the peace circuit, I said it's a very good thing. And I maintain it's a good thing because my view is that the only language that the Pakistanis understand, KC, is coercive diplomacy. Now, you may not agree, others may not agree, but that's my perspective. I've been consistent on that. But today, KC, government is jump-starting the diplomatic ties on the back of Islamabad attempting to isolate India internationally on the Baluchistan and the Kashmir issue. We know that dossiers were given to the UN in October 2nd, dossiers were given to the US on October 22nd. On the back of that, for us to jump-start the diplomatic process, does it add up? Does it simply add up? If there is a script, we want to know what that script is. Casey.
I've listened to the debate. You are absolutely correct, you see, and I will only expand it a bit. It was not just Kashmir. If you see the flip-flops in the policy, whenever there was domestic elections, Maharashtra election preceded the Kashmir one. So those two, the minute that consideration came in, they allowed electoral campaigning to take over, and that is when, for instance, you could have called off the Foreign Secretary level talks because Nawaz Sharif government was besieged in Islamabad. Qadri and Imran Khan had cornered them. Pakistani army was committing a breach of ceasefire every other day. You could have used any one of those reasons, but you used Hurriyat. Now, having created a red line is like Obama created a red line in Syria. Once you create a red line, then you follow it. Otherwise, you don't create a red line. So they created two red lines. One was terror, the second was that. Now, having come under pressure internationally, where countries, they realized Pakistan was not getting isolated, other countries were reaching out to them. China reached out, gave them a corridor and $36 billion. So then they start looking for an escape clause. And the escape clause after the Bihar elections is basically the NSA level talks. Let me just finish.
No,
and you know what all they have got is... Yeah, all they've got is, Arnab, after 2006, when Manmohan Singh was looking for an escape clause, they set up the anti-terror mechanism at additional secretary level, which is what I was then. You simply ramp it up to the NSA level instead of additional secretary. Now that's not going to solve the problem. And you bring in the dialogue by renaming it. You have renamed the dialogue. You call it comprehensive instead of the old name. No, it's still, rose will smell the same. You can call it whatever you want. So they've just rehashed it. And today, if you saw the Pakistani Foreign Secretary, when he came out, he said it is composite dialogue again. Foreign secretaries are going to be conducting the composite dialogue. It's the same dialogue which has come back. Terror has been given to the NSAs. And Pakistan has put a general who was dealing with Baluchistan. So every time Doval pulls out a case.
No, the only concession here.
So they're creating moral equivalence.
Go ahead with dialogue process. Name it anything.
No, you can keep saying go ahead with dialogue process and all.
Dialogue between a lamb and a wolf.
I find it.
What kind of a consequence do you expect from this kind of a dialogue?
I find it surprising tonight the Congress is not on the panel.
What's the option then?
But I find it surprising tonight. I find it surprising Mehboob Beg, Ghanshyam Tiwari and Atul Anjan. I find it surprising that the same people who brought in the word Baluchistan in the joint statement in Sharm el-Sheikh 8 months after 26/11 and compromised the interests of this country are questioning Modi flying in to wish someone happy birthday. The same people who are, applauding Manmohan Singh, calling Gilani a man of peace, a compromise of national interest, the same people are questioning Modi, wishing Nawaz Sharif on his birthday. I mean, you are fully aware of, the opposition also, Atul Kumar Anjan, Ghanshyam Tiwari and Mehboob has to realize it has to know where it stands. It has to know where it stands.
Just one point.
Not just what is politically convenient to it.
I think.
Arnab, just one point. On a lighter note.
Arnab, let me also remind you.
Arnab, on a lighter note, this diplomacy was confined to what they call a Lahore club.
Over here. Let me also remind that when
this diplomacy was called a secrecy diplomacy of the Lahore club.
When the government in Jammu
Kashmir, the point is we have replaced the Kuldeep Nayars and the IK Gujrals of the past. And indulged in same.
In the assembly. Remember, Arnab, we had debated that evening with the Congress and the NC National Conference. They had passed an anti-India resolution in the assembly that the Indian government, the Modi government, does not want to talk with Pakistan. They had gone to that extent. And today they are criticizing when the talks are about to begin. I mean, this is the kind of confusion.
Mehboob Beg, last word to you. Mehboob Beg.
No, I think to your question, see, the criticism that an opposition can make would be driven by events or the successes or failure of the diplomacy. All I'm trying to say is 2 years have passed. This is the political combination that made it a national issue, and they do not have a single success to report to with respect to engagement with Pakistan. Are we expected to celebrate that the Prime Minister made a surprise visit to, or surprise or not surprise visit to Pakistan? What are we expected to make out of it? What is
who is asking you to celebrate?
Who's setting it? Who's accountable? What are you promising to our soldiers?
What are you
promising to those?
Gentlemen, do you?
Mr. Ghanshyam, you have only exposed yourself.
You cannot hide behind the positions that opposition is taking. You have to have
Sambit, one thing must be said about the BJP's approach to foreign policy right now. I know sometimes you have participated in several debates on the program. Let it not be said about the BJP's approach to foreign policy that it can be described in 3 words, back and forth. Let there be consistency. Now to everyone, a Merry Christmas to all of you, and thank you for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.